Nonsense. It's time to have real conversations, stand up, speak out, and shine a light on what's really happening inside our schools, our systems, and our government, and what it really means for your family. This is the Lindsay Beckham Show, where we believe in truth over talking points, facts over feelings, and the courage to say what others won't. Because when it comes to our kids, silence is not an option.
Welcome in to the Lindsay Beckham Show. It is Thursday. Hope everybody is having a fabulous day. We are live here in the WYAB studios, streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and X. Of course, as always, on your FM radio dial, 1039, and then streaming worldwide, at least the audio versions worldwide at WYAB.com. There's a lot to get to today. I want to say thank you to Ron Mattis from the Pentecostal Church for being here yesterday. I really enjoyed our conversation, as well as Gina Archer, who was here Tuesday. Of course, that event that we talked about will take place tonight out in Brandon at Archer Farms, the Good Fight. That's the nonprofit that she has started after losing her son to fentanyl. There is a real crisis across this country when it comes to pills being laced with the smallest, tiniest amount of fentanyl, which could kill an elephant. And our children are getting their hands on these types of pills, not knowing what's contained in them. They think they're taking a pain pill from the pharmacy, and instead it takes their life. So that event, again, that's this evening in Brandon at Archer Farms. They're going to have a dinner. Keynote speaker, our Attorney General, Lynn Fitch, will be there, who has worked hard on combating the fentanyl crisis here in Mississippi. But don't think for 1 second that it can't happen to your family, that it can't happen to your child. I now know 3 moms who have lost their young sons to fentanyl or some sort of synthetic drug. All 3 of these young men were well educated, highly intelligent. One bad decision and they lost their lives. And it's incredibly sad. We've got to be so intentional with our children about educating them so that they're aware of the dangers out there, so that they understand what can happen, what is happening. And so every little bit that you could donate helps organizations like this one be able to get out there, talk to parents, talk to teenagers, talk to young people, educate them, share their stories. I was truly deeply moved Tuesday hearing Gina's story. And I think there are a lot of people across the state that need to hear it. So would love to see you out there tonight. I'll be there. If you see me, please come introduce yourselves. I love to meet all of you. We do have room on the show if you have a business and you are looking to get word of your business out. I say all the time, and I'm going to continue to say it. We have some of the most loyal listeners who truly take care of our sponsors. We couldn't do anything that we do if we didn't have the great sponsors that we do here at WIAB. If you want more information about that, I would love to hear from you. You can email me, Lindsay, that's Lindsay with an E, at WYAB.com, or you can email info, just INFO, at WYAB.com. We'll be happy to get back with you, let you know what we have available, and we'd love to partner with you and share your business with our listeners. We do have a new sponsor that I want to introduce today. I'm really excited about this. Y'all know I've been saying for the longest time, I need a life insurance salesman to sponsor the show because I have, I believe, a very compelling, convicting story when it comes to my personal experience. You know, when you're young and you're newlywed, the first thing that you think of is not, hey, I need to go change my life insurance beneficiary. The first thing that you think of is not, hey, I might die tomorrow. I need to make sure I have enough life insurance to provide for my family. Maybe some of you think like that if you're like really prepared and on top of things. I don't believe most people think that way, not when they are young and feel like they have their entire lives ahead of them. But you're never promised tomorrow. We are never guaranteed the very next second or the very next breath on this earth. And I know that all too well because I very unexpectedly lost my husband back in October of 2016. He was working out of town. I was pregnant with our twins at the time. Now, thankfully, well, I say thankfully, we had actually thought about the life insurance issue when we found out that I was pregnant, and we did request change of beneficiary forms, and he had received those from his life insurance company. He did have a policy. He had filled those forms out, yet he had not had them notarized or witnessed or returned. And so the beneficiary on his life insurance policy remained his mother. Needless to say, we have not seen a single cent of that money. And so we struggle. We struggle financially. That's no secret. When you've got one parent and 5 children, ranging from 6 to 17, you struggle. Life's hard as it is. Gas is expensive, groceries are expensive, and trust me, these growing children eat a lot. But that's why I'm such an advocate for getting your affairs in order. Knowing that should something happen to you and you leave this earthly home today, our temporary, very temporary home here on earth, that you know without a doubt, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that you have everything lined up, that your family is going to be okay, that your children will be provided for. Well, our new sponsor can most definitely help you with that. His name is Mark Dryron. I'm probably going to say the last name wrong for quite some time, but he works for Allstate right here in Central Mississippi. He's well known here in the Madison community. Been doing this a very long time, knows what he's doing. And when it comes to protecting all things that matter in your world, in your life, look no further than Allstate agent Mark Dwyron. Generations of people across the Central Mississippi area have trusted him and still do. He knows how to find the right coverage for you with the right price, how to make sure that you feel safe and secure and protected. He's been doing this a while. So for many decades, he's been a trusted agent protecting you against the mayhem that is so very unpredictable. And he's always just a moment away when you need him. And he's not just life insurance. Of course, he also offers auto, home, life, and more. And you will always be in good hands with Allstate. He is located right off of Highway 51 in Madison. Again, in business over 4 decades, giving this community trusted results. His resume speaks for itself. And if you talk to anyone who has used Mark as their insurance agent, they will also tell you that he's always right there, a phone call away, and willing to help and serve any way that he can. So I would love for him to hear from some of you. Let him know you heard about it on the Lindsay Beckham Show. His number, 601-856-2777. Again, 601-856-2777. Located off of 51 here in Madison, Mississippi. That's Allstate Mark Dwyron. And I hope that he's going to be on the show. We're going to get him in the studio here so that he can personally introduce himself to all the listeners. Maybe sometime next week. I've got to get that on the schedule because I want you guys to all hear from him. And again, I just want everybody to be prepared. You never, ever know what life is going to throw your way. So make sure you stay protected. Make sure that you have everything in order. Not that any of us plan not to be here to provide for our families or raise our children. But again, nobody's promised the next year, month, week, day, breath, for that matter. So it's always best to be prepared, and Mark can help you do that. We're going to take a break. When we get back, y'all know, I've been waiting. I've had guests this week, which I have so enjoyed. But Southern Poverty Law Center, they just keep going. They're like the Energizer Bunny that just cannot be shut down. They released their new hate map, hate list this week. Crazy timing too, right in the middle of a congressional hearing that they were subpoenaed to attend to answer questions. Now that they've been indicted on 11 counts of fraud, money laundering, and the like. Yet amazingly, they still wanted to drum up some more hate, manufacture some more hate, and they did just that Tuesday morning. We're going to get to that when we get back. Y'all stay with us. WIAB 1039, The Lindsay Beckham Show. We'll be right back.
WIAB.
When it comes to protecting all the things that matter in your world, generations of folks in central Mississippi have trusted Allstate agent Mark Dwyron. Mark knows the right coverage with the right price, helps you feel secure and protected. For decades, Mark's been a trusted agent protecting you against mayhem that is unpredictable, and he's always just a moment away when you need him. Mark Dwyron. For auto, home, life, and more, you're in good hands with Allstate. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability.
Americans for Prosperity is Mississippi's and the country's leading grassroots organization dedicated to promoting economic freedom and personal liberty. Americans for Prosperity advocates for limited government, free market policies, and empowering individuals. When given freedom and opportunity, Americans are capable of extraordinary things. If you are ready to make a difference in our community and want to get involved, then visit americansforprosperity.org. Be a part of positive change at americansforprosperity.org. Paid for by Americans for Prosperity.
Hi, Kim Wade here. Are you craving a home-cooked meal without the hassle? Come over to McBee's Bar and Grill in Ridgeland for their Blue Plate lunch specials. Served up every weekday, at McBee's it's a different entree every day. Chicken spaghetti on Mondays, beef tip Tuesday, pork chop Wednesday, spaghetti Thursday, and catfish Fridays. And McBee's Blue Plate lunch comes with 2 classic Southern sides and cornbread or a roll. McBee's specials are served every weekday from 11 to 2. McBee's, buzzing the res since 1982.
When you want your pine trees to grow a little happier and a lot healthier, call on Holcomb Aerial Service. When your crops need dusting, think Holcomb Aerial Service. From the farm to your own pine forest, Holcomb Aerial Service will stimulate growth, eradicate pests, and preserve the value of your crops. Call Holcomb Aerial Service at 601-668-6200. That's 601-668-6200.
Managing payroll, benefits, workers' comp, and HR tasks can take valuable time away from running your business. That's where People Lease comes in. From payroll processing and tax filing to employee benefits and retirement plan administration, People Lease helps simplify your back office operations while improving employee satisfaction. Spend less time on paperwork and more time growing your business. Schedule your consultation today at peoplelease.com. That's peoplelease.com.
Seeing well plays a big role in helping you read well. That's why it's not a minute too soon for students of all ages to schedule an eye exam with Dr. Bobby C. Pankey and Associates in Clinton and Richland. They can also help you with a great selection of frames, lenses, and contacts, all at affordable prices. See well, read well, do well. For all your back-to-school eye care needs, visit Optical 2000 Clinton and Richland. Optical-2000.com.
Stay in touch. Follow Optical 2000 on Facebook.
Delicious food and a relaxing atmosphere combine to make the best place for sports fans and foodie fans to watch the game and just hang out. Capitol Grill of Jackson. Of course they've got the games, but food, oh my goodness. Mouth-watering po' boys, fish, steaks, appetizers, and a specialty pizza menu. Kitchen opens at 5 Monday through Thursday and 11 Friday through Sunday. And happy hours are daily at Capitol Grill. Also enjoy the all-new Tuesday night and karaoke on Wednesday and Friday nights from 8 till midnight with DJ Money Mod. Capitol Grill, DeVille Plaza in Jackson.
From Mississippi, where faith, family, and freedom still matter. This is the Lindsay Beckham Show.
Welcome back into the Lindsay Beckham Show, live here in the WYAB studios, streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and X. Would love to hear from you today. You can call in to the show. That number is 601-879-0002. You can also text in to the Lindsay Beckham Show text line. That number is 601-879-4648. I mentioned it in passing, but your girl over here has managed to once again grace the Southern Poverty Law Center's hate list, hate map, whatever it is that you would like to refer to it as. I personally believe the hate group, the only hate group in the room, is the Southern Poverty Law Center. And ironically enough, they decided to release their newest findings covering the year 2025 at the same exact moment they were having to answer questions in a congressional hearing because they had been subpoenaed to show up and answer these questions about the manufacturing hate that they're responsible for. I'm working right now on an op-ed describing my personal experience. Back in June 2023, I was thrilled to be able to take my 11-year-old daughter at the time with me to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania to attend our Moms for Liberty's annual summit. They were, for the first time, hosting a Liberty Kids camp at the same time so that you could take your kid, take them over to the Liberty Kids camp, and then go listen to the speakers in the summit area for the adults. Now, I remember standing in the airport and looking down at my daughter and seeing the excitement fill her eyes. And because I know her, of course, nobody knows a child like their mama, I could also see the slightest hint of fear. Now, I'm not sure if that was because this was going to be her first time to fly on an airplane, or if she just knew. And I won't lie to you, there was some slight fear myself, fear for our safety. Because months prior to this, groups began to target us. The death threats started coming. People's jobs being called, the doxing, finding our homes, placing pictures of our homes online with our name and our photo. There were certain Facebook accounts dedicated to doxing Moms for Liberty chapter chairs. We amped up security. We had a lot of very important people coming this year. Ron DeSantis was going to be there. Nikki Haley was going to be there. Asia Hutchinson was going to be there. Vivek Ramaswamy was going to be there. RFK was scheduled to appear. He did pull out shortly before the event. Now, truly, I believe that's because he got some inaccurate information. Again, the whole point here. And then, of course, President Trump, of course, he was not yet reelected, but he also was a guest. So I was thrilled. I was thrilled to be able to take my 11-year-old child to an event where I knew she would be in a room with Donald Trump, in a room with Ron DeSantis, some of these people who I look up to in the political world were going to be there. The experience of a lifetime. We amped up security. They put railing all the way around our hotel. There were barricades. They were at one point bussing in police officers. We were yelled and screamed at. We were called every name in the book, anything and everything that you can think of. They were screaming these things at my daughter, my 11-year-old daughter. At one point, we witnessed another one of the moms who had her daughter with her daughter coming into the hotel screaming and crying in pain and needing medical attention because one of these protesters had thrown an egg at her and hit her in the eye with it. The only event that was not set to take place at the hotel was the opening ceremony. And we were taken by bus over to the Museum of the American Revolution. Now, there was so much hate for us that the museum was vandalized and graffitied the night before. There were people holding protests against the Marriott for allowing us to pay for the space in their hotel to use for this event. It was scary. In fact, we were reassured that we had top-notch security. Of course, we had Secret Service there for part of the event, given the fact that Donald Trump was in the building. Of course, getting him there almost didn't happen. It was almost impossible because of the protesters. His motorcade had to reroute themselves, I think maybe 6 times before they finally were able to get him to the event. So yeah, they reassured us that as long as we were at the hotel, they felt sure we were safe. But then in the next breath, they warned us, we can't protect you should you choose to walk out the doors of the hotel to explore the city. We were advised not to wear Moms for Liberty attire in public in an attempt to stay as safe as possible. And then you just start to wonder and you start to question, why is this happening? Why are these people so angry and fired up because moms care about what children are being taught in school? That moms don't want school counselors and school administration socially transitioning their children without their knowledge, changing their names and their pronouns while they're in the classroom without letting the parents know or giving consent to do so. Why does it make anyone so angry that I don't want my children reading over sexualized, obscene, explicit content that's nowhere near age appropriate from their school libraries? Why do you hate me so much for saying, hey, can you take these books and make sure there is parental consent for my child to check that out? I don't agree with the message, and I'm the parent. It's my fundamental right to direct the upbringing of my children the way I see fit, not you, the school, not you, the teacher, not you, the school board, not you, the school counselor, not you, the government. But why should that make huge groups of people like this so angry? Well, I'll tell you why. We now know why. The Southern Poverty Law Center placed a huge target on our backs when they added us to their hate list, their hate map. And they're not the least bit sorry for it. In fact, they are doubling down. If you didn't get a chance to watch this congressional hearing that took place Tuesday morning, then I would urge you to go to YouTube and look it up. It will leave you feeling mind-boggled that there are organizations who listen to this group of people who's actually the hate group here. And if being opposite of my views from the Southern Poverty Law Center, if that gets me on a hate map, then I consider it an honor. But I want to talk about some of the questions that were asked and some of the insane answers that were given by these very extremely hateful people. But we got to take a break. So when we get back, we'll get into some of that. Don't go anywhere. WYAB 1039, The Lindsay Beckham Show. We'll be right back. The Lindsay Beckham Show. We'll be right back.
Keep it tuned here to 1039 WYAB.
Hi, Kim Wade here. Hot weather requires us to run the AC nonstop. Pure Air Consultants can inspect your unit today to ensure your AC is operating at peak performance. Pure Air Consultants is your go-to Rheem partner that can get the job done and have you resting in comfort in no time. Locally owned and operated, they have proudly served our community for over 22 years. Contact Pure Air Consultants today at mypureairconsultants.com. Rheem and Pure Air Consultants to the rescue.
When it comes to protecting all the things that matter in your world, generations of folks in central Mississippi have trusted Allstate agent Mark Dwyron. Mark knows the right coverage with the right price, helps you feel secure and protected. For decades, Mark's been a trusted agent protecting you against mayhem that is unpredictable, and he's always just a moment away when you need him. Mark Dwyron. For auto, home, life, and more, you're in good hands with Allstate. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Pentagon officials say sections of the high-security building are in lockdown after systems triggered an air quality incident. ABC's Louis Martinez says some workers sheltering in place until tests by hazmat crews are concluded.
This is a very large building. 23,000 people work there on any given day. And the Pentagon has 5 sides, 5 floors, 5 concentric rings. And when you could be working in one of those wedge areas, one of those corners of the building, and be completely unaffected by something that's going on in another part of the building.
Secretary of State Marco Rubio announced the U.S. will sanction Cuba's state-owned gas and oil company, alleging Cuba's government was using it as a tool of repression and self-serving the regime. In Mexico, protests ahead of the World Cup's first match in Mexico City tonight. Demonstrators using the high-profile event to bring light to various causes, including missing individuals. This is ABC News.
The only thing hotter than Mississippi in the summer is a Mississippi summer when the power goes out. This summer, can install a permanent standby generator that automatically kicks on the second the power fails and keeps your whole house running. Hey, you already got a portable generator? Call Cowden Electric and let them set it up so you can safely plug it into your breaker box and power just the essentials. Don't wait for the next outage. Call Cowden Electric today or visit CowdenElectric.com and stay powered up when the grid goes down. CowdenElectric.com. Hey, Rankin County, swing by the locally owned and award-winning 042 Wine and Spirits on Highway 80 next to Sonny's Barbecue in Brandon today. We've got one of the largest selections around with over 200 bourbons and whiskeys to ignite your taste buds, more than 50 vodkas, 50-plus tequilas, 30-plus rums, and ready-to-drink cocktails, as well as premium scotches. And get this, we've got over 400 wines in stock for the perfect pairing anytime. Discover your new favorites today at 042 Wine and Spirits right next to Sonny's Barbecue, Highway 80, Cross Gates, Brandon.
If you want the best health care, where do you go? The Mayo Clinic. If you want the best care for your vehicle, where do you go? Mayo Auto Clinic in Raymond. Mayo Auto Clinic does foreign and domestic vehicles and diesel repair. Mayo Auto Clinic has ASE certified techs with over 25 years of experience. You can extend the life of your car or truck when you take it to Mayo Auto Clinic. For cost-effective repairs and maintenance, go to the best, Mayo Auto Clinic. Open weekdays at 7 a.m. Highway 18 in Raymond.
Knock your healthcare needs out of the park with City Center Drugs. Hi, this is Mary Beth Hardy, owner of City Center Drugs, located at the District at Eastover in Jackson. City Center Drugs is your home run destination for prescriptions, over-the-counter medications, vaccines, and even unique gifts with custom gift wrapping. Whether you're aiming to maintain a healthy lifestyle or looking to score the perfect gift, City Center Drugs has got you covered. Swing by today and experience the winning team at City Center Drugs. Visit us online at citycenterdrugs.com and go Braves.
This is Jack Hoffman. For nearly 31 years, Tico Steakhouse has been a staple of fine dining in Jackson, Mississippi. Dad has long since desired for me to come work alongside him. And now that I'm here, I would like to invite you to come experience our family tradition of our hospitality, sizzling steaks, and healthy poured beverages. Our dining rooms are open and we are taking reservations. Our private rooms are also available along with takeout. Call today or stop in to experience Tico's in the second generation.
Tico's Steakhouse, East County Line Road in Ridgeland, 601-956-1030.
Welcome back into the Lindsay Beckham Show, live here in the WYAB studios. You can call into the show today, 601-879-0002, or text in to the Lindsay Beckham Show text line. That number, 601-879-4648. We are breaking down the Southern Poverty Law Center, the true hate group. I'm going to quickly kind of catch you up to speed and basically kind of a timeline form of the relationship, I guess you can call it that, between Moms for Liberty and the Southern Poverty Law Center. So in January of 2021, Moms for Liberty was launched. That same year in September, the National School Board Association called on the Biden administration to target parents wanting to use counterterrorism tools, including the Patriot Act, to target parents at school board meetings. Now, this is not alleged. This has all been proven through documents and congressional hearings. In October of 21, the Biden Department of Justice began targeting parents at school boards. Attorney General Merrick Garland issued a memo to the FBI that the Department of Justice will launch additional trainings and a task force related to school boards. They highlighted the National Threat Operations Center to serve as a snitch line for tips about parents at school boards. Then in January 2023, Moms for Liberty began inviting presidential candidates to what would be our annual summit that was going to take place the following June. National figures have defended Moms for Liberty when we were named a hate group by the Southern Poverty Law Center. That was official June 2023. Of course, our members received a surge of death threats. We had to increase security. Violent protests broke out during our national summit in Philadelphia that month. A hacker group, Anonymous, successfully attacked Moms for Liberty, bringing down our website, other parts of our operations. 6 Pennsylvania state senators sent a letter on their Senate letterhead, might I add, to the Museum of the American Revolution and requested that they canceled their event contract with Moms for Liberty due to the SPLC hate group label. Again, this museum did not cancel us, and they were vandalized the night before. And now that you have the SPLC's label of a hate group, you better believe they were using that across the country. Teachers' unions, school boards. Of course, there were lawsuits filed on behalf of Moms for Liberty. It seemed as though every single one of our chapters somehow managed to make their hate list. Now, in May of 2025, the Southern Poverty Law Center added Charlie Kirk and Turning Point USA to their hate map. May 2025. And we all know what happened in September. In July of 2025, there was a joint letter that was drafted and sent to the White House and the Trump administration. A coalition of leaders came together, including Moms for Liberty, Turning Point USA Action, Alliance Defending Freedom, Liberty Council, Gays Against Groomers, Ben Carson, Tim Barton. They wrote a letter asking for accountability regarding how the FBI uses the Southern Poverty Law Center as a tool, as a resource, because that was happening. The FBI was using this organization who targets conservative groups in their investigations. In August of 2025, we learned that in Massachusetts, they were training their police force with Southern Poverty Law Center material. They taught 20,000 police officers across the state of Massachusetts that Moms for Liberty is an anti-government extremist hate group, alongside neo-Nazis and actual extremist groups. In October of 2025, Director Kash Patel announced that the FBI was cutting ties with the Southern Poverty Law Center thanks to this coalition who came together and wrote this letter to the Trump administration. Now, we've also learned that there are 250 companies who use the Southern Poverty Law Center to screen donations. Amazon Smile, these programs where if you use them, a certain percentage is donated to a nonprofit of your choice. Well, if you're on the hate map, you don't get that option. But then in April, this past April 2026, the FBI announced 11 indictments connected to the Southern Poverty Law Center. They have now been exposed for secretly funneling $3 million or more to the KKK, neo-Nazis, and other extremists, as well as producing curriculum that is used in 48 states across the country. And you better believe, you can bet your bottom dollar that type of curriculum most definitely manufactures what else? Hate. So again, we've been through the cyber attacks and the bullying and the death threats and the cancel culture, the protesters. Because this organization lies about who we are and what we do. Now, since these indictments have been handed down, there have been 2 congressional hearings. This most recent one took place Tuesday morning. And like I said earlier, ironically, they have a lot of nerve to release their newest hate list for 2025, while this congressional hearing they were subpoenaed to attend was taking place. Representative Virginia Fox asked a very simple question. Should young biological males be allowed to share overnight accommodations with biological females on school trips? Now, that's not a trick question. It's pretty simple, right? Of course, the representatives from the Southern Poverty Law Center couldn't seem to find an answer for that question. Instead, they danced around the question with policy language and bureaucratic tyrannical jargon and references to case-by-case decisions. They also had the Loudoun County, Virginia superintendent there at this congressional hearing Tuesday morning. And y'all all know I've covered that to death, the Loudoun County nightmare where a young female was sexually assaulted just trying to use the bathroom by a biological by a biological male who was allowed to use the girls' bathroom. And you know who was targeted after this incident? It was the girl's father, because he showed up at a school board meeting to speak about it. That makes total sense, right? Representative Tom Tiffany asked the Southern Poverty Law Center Tuesday morning, why is Moms for Liberty on your hate map? His answer was because we won't go along with their woke agenda. We don't believe that we should be mutilating children. We want transparency in our schools and our parental rights acknowledged. They play a very dangerous game, the Southern Poverty Law Center, by manufacturing hate and targeting parents across the country who simply chose to get involved in their children's education. They have put real families in real danger. And that's a fact. Congressman Jim Jordan has most definitely been a voice for us. Senator Jim Banks said, the Family Research Council is not a hate group. Moms for Liberty is not a hate group. Turning Point USA is not a hate group. Alliance Defending Freedom is not a hate group. Religious Catholics are not extremist. Southern Poverty Law Center has no credibility, no standing, and sows chaos to advance their far left agenda. Could not agree more. Congressman Jim Jordan said, well, how did the Southern Poverty Law Center grow its endowment to more than $730 million? Well, that's simple. By paying informants to manufacture hate and then fundraise off of it. Quite sickening, if you ask me. Our years of injustice that have been building were heard Tuesday. There were many powerful exchanges. I would love to share more of those, but we are running out of time. We're going to take our last break. When we get back, we'll wrap things up here on the Hate List Show, the Lindsay Beckham Show, WIB 1039. We'll be right back. WIB 1039. We'll be right back.
1039 WYAB.
Americans for Prosperity is Mississippi's and the country's leading grassroots organization dedicated to promoting economic freedom and personal liberty. Americans for Prosperity advocates for limited government, free market policies, and empowering individuals. When given freedom and opportunity, Americans are capable of extraordinary things. If you are ready to make a difference in our community and want to get involved, then visit americansforprosperity.org. Be a part of positive change at americansforprosperity.org. Paid for by Americans for Prosperity.
Hi, Kim Wade here. Hot weather requires us to run the AC nonstop. Pure Air Consultants can inspect your unit today to ensure your AC is operating at peak performance. Pure Air Consultants is your go-to Rheem partner that can get the job done and have you resting in comfort in no time. Locally owned and operated, they have proudly served our community for over 22 years. Contact Pure Air Consultants today at mypureairconsultants.com. Rheem and Pure Air Consultants to the rescue.
When mobility matters, Hometown Medical makes it simple. Discover our lightweight portable folding scooters. You can take these scooters anywhere, and they will go up to 14 miles on a single charge. Whether you're going on a weekend cruise, an airplane flight, or just around town, these 3- and 4-wheel scooters are built for freedom and convenience. And if you're looking for style and agility, check out our lightweight power wheelchairs. With the tightest turn radius possible, they move with ease. So whether you're cruising, traveling, or just enjoying everyday independence, Hometown Medical has the mobility solution for you.
Remember when Saturday meant tackling 3 projects before lunch? Now you need a nap after buying the lumber. It doesn't happen all at once. Energy slips away a little at a time. Focus does too. The team at Live Better Men's Health and Wellness helps men get answers to low testosterone, fatigue, weight gain, and more. Because getting older is mandatory. Feeling old is optional. Learn more at livebettermen.com. That's livebettermen.com.
Americans for Prosperity is Mississippi's and the country's leading grassroots organization dedicated to promoting economic freedom and personal liberty. Americans for Prosperity advocates for limited government, free market policies, and empowering individuals. When given freedom and opportunity, Americans are capable of extraordinary things. If you are ready to make a difference in our community and want to get involved, then visit americansforprosperity.org. Be a part of positive change at americansforprosperity.org. Paid for by Americans for Prosperity.
El Potrillo, hear that call? Best Mexican food of all. Hot and fresh, that's what you get. Every plate you won't forget. El Potrillo, vámonos. Best Mexican food around, you know. El Potrillo, come on through. Hot, fresh, delicious for you. El Potrillo Mexican Restaurant.
El Potrillo Mexican Restaurant, located in Flowood and Brandon. When leaks, clogs, or cold showers slow you down, call on Anglin Plumbing, the plumbing experts who get the job done right the first time. Leaky faucet, sink, or toilet? Need a water heater installed? Call on Anglin Plumbing. You can always trust Anglin's reliable and hardworking technicians. Don't let plumbing headaches ruin your day. Call on Anglin Plumbing Service to get it fixed. And you can be a part of the team. Anglin Plumbing is now hiring. Learn more about Anglin Plumbing at anglinplumbing.com.
Welcome back into the Lindsay Beckham Show. The last few minutes here on this Thursday afternoon. Do not forget, tonight, Fight the Good Fight fundraising event, Archer Farms in Brandon, Mississippi. We've been discussing the Southern Poverty Law Center and their hate-fueled hate list or hate map. I just posted a picture of some of the protesters side by side with some of our chapter chairs who, in hands and arms, praying while these crazy buffoons outside were screaming and yelling obscenities at us at a building. So what happens now that this congressional hearing has taken place? Well, we're determined to see the Southern Poverty Law Center be held accountable. We have, as Moms for Liberty, submitted testimony to the House Judiciary Committee from Moms for Liberty members directly impacted by the Southern Poverty Law Center hate label. We're going to continue to make the public aware of their smear machine and the harm they do to ordinary Americans and mainstream conservative organizations. We're going to press on with our work to save America by defending parental rights at all levels of government. We are going to continue to drive down the far left indoctrination and woke ideology efforts in state after state across the country. And we're going to continue to work to defend parental rights for all Americans. I'll see you guys tomorrow.